Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to AGILE Scrum track. This is another day, mostly second day of week one itself. And I have a question. Anyone here for the first time? Anyone here for the first time? It's your day one?
Yes, Hitesh this side.
Okay, Hiteshi. Hiteshi, could you please rename yourself so that we will get to see your name and will pronounce your name properly? Yeah.
It's
Anyone
Hitesh.
else? Okay, just rename yourself on screen so that we will be able to read. Anyone else other than Hitesh? Anyone else? Okay, so Hiteshi, welcome. So what you can do is that quickly you can introduce yourself, your name, from where you are connecting, and um, any technical background you have or not, or what is your educational background or any job experience. So these four things you can just share with us. You can unmute
Hello,
and
everyone.
hi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hiteshi. I'm from the New Jersey, and I used to work with Wipro in India, but I have a little gap. I was working as a project coordinator for an aerosol project. When I joined the project, there was only 10 people, and when I left the project after 4 years, it was 300 employees. So it was a wonderful journey. I came in US for around 10 years back, and yeah, this is myself.
Okay, so you were working as a what, Hiteshi?
I was working, not working.
Yeah, you were working as a what?
Project coordinator.
Project coordinator. Thank you so much for sharing that. Welcome, Hiteshi. Everyone, please type in the chat window. Welcome, Hiteshi. So let's get started. So we have rest other people are attending on the day too. So one thing which I generally ask to all of you, and that is one intention you need to tell us that why you are here, why you are attending this program. Uh, and I get various reasons. But the actual reason and one reason is that you are here to get placed. Do you all agree with me? Yes or yes?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you so much.
Yes,
Yes.
loud and clear.
Okay. To get placed, when you are starting your journey with training, and even if you are coming from the various background, we will be here together for next 8 weeks. And in this 2 months, there are chances that the intention will get cooler. Okay, to continue to keep it more really boiled and hot, so that you really hit the bullseye. You need to follow certain discipline so that you actually attain what you were looking for on the day you joined here. So keeping that very constant and keeping the momentum high, we need to follow certain ground rule so that your focus will remain compartmentalized. Are you with me so far? Everyone say yes if you are. Yeah. And for
yes,
that
yes.
very reason, we have
Yes.
designed something what we call it. Thank you so much for your responses. We have designed something what we call it as a code of honor. Code of honor is nothing but a set of ground rules and disciplines that we need to follow. And let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And the very first one asks you to show up live. Show up live means you be on time, remain punctual, and remain highly committed. Why you need to do so? Because this training itself we are going to take because we are going to take as a project. Okay, and considering this itself as a project, where from few of you are experienced people joining here, few of you are for very first time attending this, and Agile is full of ceremonies, and you need to follow certain things, so that you need to practice it in a way that once you get placed, that will remain your habit. Okay, and that's the reason. And it is also said that how you do anything is how you do everything. That's the reason we want you to practice this entire thing until you are here with us, so that you can replicate once you get placed, because Agile is full of ceremonies, and ceremonies means meetings demand you to be on time, remain punctual, and remain highly committed. Second code of honor says that because you are starting your journey as a student, so just don't be a student. Because you are learning, it means you are a student. So just don't be a student, be the full stack student. What does it mean? It means that the one who do all the assignments, do self-research and repeat whatever they learn. So if you can do that, that makes you a full stack student. Third one says that take the full responsibility. While you are following these code of honor, you automatically attract success. You can definitely take the full responsibility of it, but when you don't do that, you will definitely attract the failure, and you need to take the full responsibility of that failure as well, realizing that something which you have not been following, that is tending you towards the failure. And then when you realize and you will recorrect it, that will become the trail for the success. And failure does not remain the success, will not remain the failure itself, it will remain the success. And that's the reason you need to take the full responsibility of it. And the fourth one says that to do so, really, you need to have a proper mindset. And here we encourage you to have a learning mindset. There are chances that you may say that, hey, some of you who have a good professional or corporate background, or a good experience, you may say that I know various things, so I need not to learn this. But no, still you need to have learning mindset. And to continue to be in the learning, you need to have positive mindset. And to continue to be in when you will continue to be in positive mindset, you will find yourself going more complaint free, and you are getting loaded with the gratitude. More gratitude you will feel, you will attract more happiness, is the new productivity today in the corporate. Okay, and that's the reason you need to carry this package mindset, I would say. And the fifth one is very, very important. It says that to have such mindset, you need to start your day with the increased level of receptivity. And for that very reason, I generally ask you to complete a 30 days challenge. That is nothing but an audio program that I ask you to complete every single day. Listen to this audio program every single day, and for that you need to ask me this audio program after this session. Once you will ping me, I'll share this audio program, so that you will see it is making you more productive, more positive, and its impact on your every single aspect of your life you'll see. And the outcome driven by positivity will remain really surprising for you. And that's the reason generally I ask you to complete this 30 days audio program. It's a 40 minutes audio that you can play every single day when you are starting your day with walking, jogging on or running, and put it in 2x mode and just complete it in 20 minutes, and you are good for the day. But in case you are missing even a day, start it again from the scratch, so that you can complete the next 30 days. So that is the 30 days challenge I'm talking about. Ask me after the session, I can share the link with you. And because now you are getting into the deep learning, you need to follow golden quadrant of learning, that says that just before deep learning, you need to declare what you are going to learn, and then draw whatever you have learned, and then summarize whatever you have learned in at least 90 seconds or less than it. You can summarize um, in today's technological world, you can summarize in a video and you can share in WhatsApp group. Sometimes it gets aired the way you explain, and we feel that you are getting really more confident. And here the hack is that you don't need to refer to the you don't need to refer to the recording while you are sharing your summary, but in fact, you need to refer to your drawing of the summary that you have taken as a notes while you are learning. Okay, and using that, you can simply say, these are the notes I have created. I am going to explain it in another 60 seconds or 90 seconds, and that's how you can summarize this. So are you, because now we are getting into the deep learning, are you all ready for a quick declaration with the anchor?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
everyone. So what is going to be anchor? Anchor is nothing, but it is going to be a body movement. And here we are going to put one small anchor that is nothing but a clap or self high five at the count of 3. Okay, clap or self high five, and repeat what you see on the screen is selected. Do you all see the statement written and selected in blue on the screen?
Yes.
You can
Yes.
read that. All of you can read that, right? It's readable.
Yes.
Yes. So let's
Yes.
get started at the count of 3 and then repeat after me. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. I am a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What others
Others
can
can learn and master.
I too can do that.
can do that.
I too can do that.
One more time, you are going to anchor with me. Anchor is nothing but a clap or self high five. At the count of 3, you are going to clap and repeat after me what is selected in the screen. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. Because I'm an awesome learner,
Because I'm an awesome learner.
today's learning is going to be
Today's
Learning is going to
super duper
be
easy to me.
super duper
super duper easy to me.
Exactly. Yes, it is going to be super duper easy for you because you said so. And remember the 6th code of honor that says that be a giver on this journey. And what you need to give away, you need to give your ego away on this path of learning. Why? Because few of you are coming here with the 6 years of experience, 12 years of experience. Few of you have been with the 26 years of experience, and that may prevent you from the deep learning. Okay, it may sound like your mind will say, hey, I know these all things, I don't need to know. But the moment you will keep your ego away, then are the chances that you will find yourself more spiritually grounded, means more open to the path of growth, more open to the path of learning, and you will allow even repeated things to learn at the deeper level. That's the reason. And number 2 is that you are here not just for learning, you are here to earn more once you get placed. And it is said that what you want to have more, start giving away even a tiniest amount of it in a charity. Like if you want to earn more, you want to have an intention of charity, that you will at least start once you get placed, give away 5% or 10% of your earning to the causes where you believe in. That could be in a temple, mosque, church, or any orphanage or any old age home, or for any causes, at least 5% or 10% of your earning. Why? Because once you give, you grow. But when you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure you are here not only for survival, but for the growth. And just don't give away for the growth. Just don't do this charity for the sake of growth, but also to inspire others. Your inspired action will attract more of that what you want to have. And while you are doing so, appreciate what you do and what others are doing for you. And even what does not happen to you, continue to appreciate that, because what you appreciate appreciates you back. So these are 6 code of honor. I believe that you would agree to follow this all. Yes? Say yes. Yeah, thank you so much. And a quick connectivity days are going to be this: Sunday technical session 9:30 p.m. EST. Listen it very closely. Monday again we are going to repeat a new technical session. Tuesday again we are going to meet for the technical session and 9:30 p.m. EST. And RRP session has to be attended by each one of you. This is going to be repetitive profile optimization session with your HR team, and there is no recording of this RRP session. That is designed to create your visibility, more credibility, and make you more marketable. And that's the reason you are supposed to repeat this. And on Wednesday, you can do some assignments which are said and unsaid. Unsaid assignment, you might have seen few people have recently shared their summary, and I totally appreciate that. Whatever the summary has come of day one, this is really phenomenal. I mean, I think this is the first batch and first set of people when they shared this summary. It has been really to the point, and it has appeared really flawless. I'm really happy with that. So I'm looking for such more summaries in every single session, but there will be a specific assignment on some specific sessions, specific day, that you need to do it separately apart from creating this summary. And Thursday, you can do the assignment for day 2 and also attain the RRP session. You need to repeat that. Friday, again, you do the assignment for day 3, and Saturday you can have the breather day, relaxation day, or utilize this day to do research, repeat whatever you have learned, and do the assignments if something is pending, and come with the question, go back with the answer on the next day. So this is what we wanted to share with you before we get started into the deep learning. So everyone did follow that code of honor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
So ready for day 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
So last we learned a simple introduction. What was the agile? What else we learned? Anyone remember? Okay, we have learned about little bit about waterfall model. What else we learned?
Agile. Use
Yeah.
of agile.
Agile and yes.
How
Agile helps the business analysis.
Yes, about
Business analysis.
yeah, we touch based business analysis. We learned also about somewhat of history of agile and all. So
yeah,
we
agile
just
evolution.
kick started. Let's get in more detail. Okay, let's get in more detail and understand more about more about this thing we had seen last time. And let me switch to all right. So we will start with agility and flexibility. Okay. So Prerna, do you want to take these slides? Prerna, if you are there, let me ask her if she wants to.
Gaurav, you can continue side by side. I'm just trying to log in from my laptop.
Okay, sure. No problem. So I want one volunteer who can read bullets over here.
I'll do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Agility and flexibility. Agility and flexibility are common interchange, but they are not the same. When referring to flexibility, it generally means scheduling or planning for an unforeseen development. These types of development are usually unexpected surprises, but businesses can plan for them and make room in their regular business procedures for adaptation as necessary.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Soman. So yes, so it is very important that agility and flexibility are mostly used as similar terms, but they are not the same. That you need to understand. Okay, and mostly when it comes towards the flexibility, okay, it has to do with scheduling, okay, and planning, and in any unforeseen development. Generally, we have to be flexible, and we refer the term flexibility. And usually what happens, these unforeseen development has some output, and that gives you some surprises at the end. But in business, the plan for such surprises are really not encouraged, and we have to be in fact more agile, that we can give the concrete results what is expected with the foundation of adaptation wherever required. Okay, so this is what exactly these two bullets wanted to tell you, and you should be very much clear about the difference between agility and flexibility. But these are not just to, it is not just limited to these two. So let's read the another bullet. I want someone else to read the third point. Who can read it? Yeah,
When
please
referring
go.
to flexibility,
When
it
referring agility, or agility, it
or
usually
or
means being able
unscheduled
to respond
external
to unplanned.
Makeda, someone is reading. You take
Oh,
the next step. Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Jyoti, please complete it.
Respond to unplanned for or unscheduled external circumstance in more effective way by delivering best possible desired output.
Okay, thank you so much for reading this out. So yes, it is saying that whenever you will refer to agility, it's all about responding to change. It's all about responding to unplanned and unscheduled external circumstances, that is the change, in more effective manner, and how you will respond that by delivering the best possible desired output. So always remember, agile is not just being a flexible, but also deliver the best output, desired result, and you need to be very much be ready with that. And I want someone, Makeda, could you please read the another bullet, because you were reading the earlier? Yeah.
pardon. When a business is agile, it can respond to a wide variety of unexpected external surprises.
Thank you.
However,
Yeah, thank
Excuse
you.
me,
That's
sir.
the-
Excuse me, sir. Can I
Yes.
please say something?
Yes.
You're trying to relate agility with flexibility. Obviously, we understand agility. When it comes to flexibility, is it a terminology in terms of Agile, Scrum, or in our business environment? You know, what I mean? We know about Kanban, we know about everything, but you're trying to measure Agile and flexibility. Is this on a normal terms, or we should take note of this situation that Agile, and because flexibility over here has a meaning. Can you go back to the other slide so we can go through
Okay,
those?
you want
again?
to go in another
Yeah,
slide?
I have a detailed understanding, please, just in case.
Okay, wait a second. Yeah, here.
Yeah, it said agility and flexibility are commonly interchanged, but they are not the same.
Yeah.
You understand me? One of the qualities of Agile is that, it's subject to change when it comes to making changes or going back for what you've done before and try to get something right. So where does flexibility come in here, and why is it, why you trying to elaborate on it, please, so we can understand better?
Okay. So your question is just why we are learning agility and flexibility and differences between that. Is that your question? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So understand, when you will start learning agility more or less, so there are chances while completing a project, you will be asked and told that you need to be very much flexible, and this will be so much frequently used that you should be very, very much aware that if someone senior is telling you to remain flexible, what exactly they are referring to, and when they are emphasizing and following the agile guidelines, what exactly agile wants you to let you know. And thereby gradually you need to also understand if agile has got some manifesto, some principle, and some value that you need to follow, so that you eventually will not make a mistake, or you will not just try to go more flexible and forget to remain agile. Okay, and that's the reason you need to have the proper understanding and difference. You need to know the difference between agility and flexibility, and that is the very reason we are starting itself by telling you what is the difference in it. Is it
So
clear,
it means be flexible, but don't slow the process. Still be agile.
Come again, what did you say?
It means be flexible, but don't slow the process. Still be agile.
Still be the agile. That's right.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yet know what are the difference.
Definitely. So you said when referring to flexibility in generally means scheduling or planning. You know, that's a heavy word when it comes to project management and business analysis. So you said generally mean scheduling or planning. Can you emphasize on that? So when you're scheduling, you know, the business analyst, from my understanding, because I've been doing some research, the business analyst or the product owner gathers the requirements. And I'm using the SDLC, the software development lifecycle, as an example. And all they just do from the beginning is gather the requirement, and you have someone trying to implement information gathering, system design, someone trying to design a system. There's a developer trying to do what he has to do. Afterward, we have to go to another stage where they have to do the testing before the staging and before deployment, if I'm right. You understand me? In this are a whole lot of process. When I'm trying to describe this, you know, being a BA and or a PO, and a Scrum Master's job is quite different. And a Scrum Master is someone that's going to handle this gradually, like to manage it by the side or oversee the situation or the process. But a business manager, business analyst, or the product owner is the one that, you know, is concerned about the business, like a stakeholder.
Yeah, we understand, James. I understand that you have proper knowledge. What is your question over here? Could you please tell me?
Yes. So in all these, when it comes to scheduling and planning, these are process in AGILE, right? That we have to follow.
What is
So
your
it
question
means,
here?
it means that when you are scheduling and because in project management, scheduling and planning is very heavy. You understand me? So it means when referring to flexibility, it generally means scheduling or planning. So when you are scheduling to have a sprint or to, you know, schedule a meeting with your members, you know what I mean? So which is the scheduling and planning? Can you please explain that for me?
Okay, so understand this thing. So you have already project management background, James?
Yeah, I didn't pass the certification, but I wrote it a lot. Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I didn't pass it yet.
is it okay if we go step by step and learn everything in detail? Because here there are people who has non-technical background. And if you want to just must jump on some subject at the deeper level, we will lose very much time. So is it okay if we can go
Yes,
step by
I
step?
want to follow you and make
Yeah.
sure I get a job.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
James, for allowing me to go step by step manner. So yeah, there will be some question which can be answered immediately. There will be some question for which you need to wait for the next session to unfold so that you can read that and understand at the deeper level. That's the reason sometime I will ask you to just hold on so that I can unfold it with the more space. Yeah, Ramani, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, in regards to what James was asking, I think he was trying to understand, or maybe he was trying to uh, uh, make out the difference between flexibility and agility. And what I understood from your slide is that with flexibility, we can get the output after the business has made some adaptations, necessary adaptations, and with agility, we are able to get the desired output, what the business has originally in mind. This is what I understand.
That's right. But at the same time, he was right that he wanted to understand about scheduling and planning, which he said, right,
Okay.
this is the heavy word in project management. He wanted to understand. So yeah, that would require time. So we are getting into that detail as we have just started. So first, you don't need to jump onto content because content is quite easy. You can find it anywhere in this entire world. YouTube is filled up with the content, but you have to go in a way that you can start working on a project, and for that you need to understand the context. Okay, so here it becomes context is more important, and that's the reason we are putting the things in a very systematic and a step-by-step manner, and that's the reason we are asking you to wait gradually and let it unfold in its own way, the way it has been designed. So is it clear to everyone, Ramani and James and everyone? Yeah.
Yes.
Can we continue further? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's proceed further. And where I was, so I want someone to read the second bullet on this slide.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yes, James.
When a business is agile, it can respond to a wide
Second
variety
bullet.
of.
Second bullet.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, go with the second bullet.
Okay, second bullet. However, a flexible business may only be able to respond to already hypothesized situation.
You
Being
can read the third
flexible,
one. Yeah.
yeah, being flexible leads to success when a predicted event occurs. While being agile, we assist businesses who face unpredicted circumstances, which is right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so
Agility,
much, James. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Okay, thanks. You can just take a pause now. So now let me explain you that what these two bullets, what James just now have read, what does it mean? So it says that flexible business will always, you will find, in fact, more businesses remaining flexible, and you have to be more flexible depending upon the nature of the business. Okay. And sometimes situation will continue to change, and sometime in a way that you have not even expected or predicted. Okay. And you can only respond to those based on the flexibility if you are flexible. Sometime in terms of hours, sometime in terms of the geographical situation, sometime environmental change, sometime due to political change. Do you understand that these changes also will impact any of the business? Do you understand? Political changes, environmental changes, and
Of course, yeah.
geographical changes may occur, and that time you can respond to these events by being flexible. However, this flexibility will lead you towards the success, handling these changes successfully, and you can predict the further events which are going to occur in a more systematic manner. However, agile will follow you, will help you that how you can face the next time any unpredictable circumstances. It means that agile will may give you some process, may give you more design, more unpredictability handling situation, and it may keep you more prepared for the next event occurrence. So flexibility will teach you the lesson, and agility will let you design the process based on the lesson that has been driven through the flexibility. I want someone to read the second last bullet point over here. So who can read? Yeah, please go ahead, Priti.
Agility or being relates more to strategic agility, thus impacting customer or competitive.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
Thank you so much. So you continue the next bullet after I explain this. So yes, so
Okay.
it says that agility or being relates more to the strategic agility. Yes, when we are talking about the agility, it's more towards the strategic planning, more about strategic agility, I would say. And it will impact, and it has to impact customer and the competition as well. And that's the reason in any business, be at any position, I generally tell each one of you, whether you serve as a product owner or project manager, whether you serve as a business analyst or customer support executive, or whoever you are, because customer is the prime, customer is the key, I generally ask you to wear one term that I call it as CDO, and this will apply everywhere. What is CDO? CDO means customer delight officer. There you need to have the intent to serve your customer at the deeper level. Okay, and that's the reason this bullet point comes very, very important over here. So yes, Tahiti, what did you what the question you have?
What is strategic agility? Can you explain a little bit? I'm not
Okay.
sure about it.
So strategic means that you have to be more in planned manner. Okay. So you decide a goal, and you just plan in a way that you know exactly what you have to deliver. Okay. You are not getting, and you will have you will be able to foresee what exactly outcome you have to achieve, and what action you have to take right now with respect to reaching to the desired goal. And these outcomes, these every milestone, that is together referring to the strategy. However, with these strategy, there is something what we call it as a detailed planning as well. That is getting into every milestones at the deeper level and connecting all the dots. So here I just now shared the strategy. Priyanka, you were trying to say something?
No, sir.
Okay. So I
Yes,
heard
sir.
some.
Sorry, you made mention of something CDO.
Oh yeah, so that's you don't need to just remember. I meant to say that have an intention to delight your customer and serve them at the deeper level. That's the term I brought. CDO is the customer delight officer. And who had asked this question about the strategy, and did I answer?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Tahiti. And who was reading the last bullet point?
I was reading it.
Yeah, continue, Preeti.
Whereas flexibility relates to tactical flexibility in that their strategic objectives are clear, but methods and options to achieve them are open.
Okay, so again, I'll have to read. Whereas flexibility relates to tactical flexibility in their strategic objectives are clear, but methods and options to achieve them are open. So yeah, see, the thing is that in agility, we are not going to follow that. Okay, we will just understand this is the flexibility and we don't have to fall into this, and we still have to go in a strategic manner. Okay. Some flexibility oriented business situation handling event may occur where you will say that these changes had to be responded by being more tactical. Okay, and that will come more towards the by practicing the event every single time. Like I was talking about the environmental changes or geographical changes or something like that. So on those basis, you understand a nature of the business, that how it gets impacted, and during that time, based on such changes, what tactics you have used, and you can continue to use that by using your past experience. Okay, so and that will always follow when it comes to being flexible towards responding to the changes of those business. Let's move towards the very concrete level to understand how you can understand the actual difference between agility and flexibility. So just a second. So here you understand the table, and when it comes to agility, it says that it has to be time boxed. It has to be fast moving, and we expect a quick reaction from you. It means if you are following these three elements, you are following agility. And when it comes to this term, time box, what do we mean by time box? Any idea? Who can answer this?
It is for fixed time. It has to be completed in a stipulated time. Maybe
Okay.
Or past the time that's set for that.
the maximum time you can use for that.
Can I say something?
Yeah, James.
Yes. One of them is time forecast, and the other one is you say no time bomb. It's subject to change, which is flexibility.
No. I have just asked about time boxing. What do you understand by time box?
Print, if
The
a
maximum time you can use. Particular period.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
I
yes.
think
Like it should be the estimated time that we can estimate for
Yeah.
a particular
On time delivery.
Yeah, all of you almost have understood. Time box means in a defined time frame.
time. Yes.
Okay, it's defined time frame. It's a DTF. It's a defined time frame. So your time limit is set, and you have to deliver in that defined time frame. That we call it as a time box. Now comes to flexibility. So flexibility says that, okay, it says that you can continue to deliver, but I don't let you be time bound. Okay, you take your time to move further. You don't have to keep moving faster. So take your own time to respond to those changes, and delayed reactions are okay. Okay, but in agility, it's all about the expected delivery. And if we are not delivering on time, why I'm telling you this agility and flexibility, because some projects may come and they say that, hey, we are going to follow agile. However, you don't see these traits to be the part of those projects. So would you, you need to know whether you should quote about those projects being agile or not. Okay, some of the elements can be expected. Okay, so, sorry, adopted from agile, but exactly it is not agile, because in real time you will see that some projects are moving in that direction. Okay. Yeah, James.
On this note, can I ask a question? Because we're following the process. Is flexibility a methodology then? Or what does it have to do with all this we are studying? Are we supposed to understand flexibility as what we have to have in mind while being agile? Because with your definition, right? I'm sorry to say, please.
Why you need to understand flexibility? Because once you will start working in agile project, more or less time, you will find that seniors are using this term flexibility again and again, and you should not be deviated from your focus that what is this. Okay, and that's the
Gaurav,
reason
I would like to add here, if you don't
continue.
mind. Yeah. So James, first of all, a very good question. The reason why we are trying to teach this concept is because many a times in general life, not in agile, not in professional world, we tend to feel that these two things are very similar, or we use them interchangeably. Like instead of agility, we might use flexibility. And then in use of proper English, it's fine, nobody would take you and ask you, why are you using this word? But then when we go in a professional setup, and this is for everyone, guys, there is a vast difference. You must have heard all the pointers that Gaurav has mentioned till now. So, in agile, we are very focused, we are very result oriented. We ensure that what is a delivery that is, that we have to go ahead and give to a customer. So all these pointers are very important. Whereas flexibility, to be honest, it means that whatever situation come, okay, whatever the scenario is, you just have to face it. But then what agility taught us is that you have to give your maximum output and best output for that. So there is a very significant difference between them when we think it from agile and professional point of view, and we just want to highlight this. Along with that, the main reason, apart from understanding the concept, it is a typical interview question many a times. Okay, so there might be a scenario, they might ask you, is agility and flexibility same? Okay, so then you can give these 3-4 pointers that no, this is result oriented, this is focused on delivery, this is on the planned events, so then the person knows that, okay, you're aware of this concepts. Okay, so that's the main reason we have given so much of time and so many slides on this topic, because it sounds similar, it looks similar, but when you go to professional world, it has a significant difference. Have I answered your question, James?
Yeah, because the reason why I'm saying this, I have read so many books sometimes, and I would just think, I won't lie to you, I will think I know what I've read, I'm so good at it, I'm going there, I'm going to pass what I'm going to write, right? Obviously, when I go there and I write the exams, in my mind, I passed it. You feel me? But when I leave there, I see my result, I have failed. And I get so disturbed. But with time, I now begin to know that most things will just, like what you are saying now, is very important when you want to write a certification, because you will not even know what you're talking about. If you don't,
Absolutely right.
If you are not this detailed and ask this small questions, like why are you saying this, why are you going this way? These people, they ask you the questions from behind sometimes. Like not even
twisted question, we call them twisted little,
they will just come with flexibility and they won't say anything about agility. Don't you understand? They might come and say, no time bound, steady move, delay reaction, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
These are all flexibility,
Right,
whatever, which is not agile. You get me?
right,
Right.
right,
And if
right.
you don't know very well, everything that looks like here looks like agile, but it's quite different in a
Perfect.
little bit. And you will
So
just go
these
TikTok
are,
thing.
so honestly speaking, you have really raised a very valid question. You know, when we go for certification, like even after this course, a lot of people go for Scrum certification, BA certification, even PMP certification at times. So there, the the objective type questions. And guys, this is for everyone, right? Those,
Right.
I mean, I have my colleagues, and they have given the certification. They also come up with this, that the questions are so similar, and all the answers look so
The
right.
same.
Yeah, so and because it is objective, see, if it is subjective, you can give a justification, right? So you might get some marks for it, but in objective, if you choose the wrong option, you're just gone, like
Fail.
your marks are gone. So that is the reason, see, our course is designed in such a way, as Gaurav was mentioning, that you would get this entire material here and there on YouTube, on Wikipedia, on internet. But what is the reason behind explaining this, why it is important? That is why these interactive classes are important. And I'm happy that you have this background of giving exams and having that experience. Somebody, a newcomer, might feel that this is just a very simple topic, but
No.
no, especially in interviews, these, I mean, I remember during my earlier days, we used to get confused so much, because if you go and Google in English, definition wise, the meaning would be similar. I'm not saying same, it's similar, right? So thank you for the question, James. Yeah, and Gaurav, over to you. Let me know when I have to take over. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
join from
And
last.
one
Also,
additional thing, even
I have
if
another question for you guys. Another
yes,
question.
Sama. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry
go
to
ahead.
interrupt you, because I just noticed something like flexibility. Okay, it's like it means like take. It means like in other words, it means like take your time and take it easy. But in agility, like when you get a job, when it's like fast moving, quick reaction, would that also cause to make the person like nervous and all that?
No, so you don't have to be. See, the thing is that time duration is fixed. Your release dates are fixed. Release date means, say, understand as if there is a large piece of, I don't know whether I have given or shared this example or not. Say, for example, first, before I answer you, let me tell you one very important thing, that even though things may sound very complex to you, as James said,
Right.
this is not very simple thing. Our job, my and Prerna's job, is to make it so super simple, so you don't even believe that these things can be that yet be simple, by embedding the kind of example what we will bring for you. Okay, so be ready to make it and digest it in that simple manner, and yet challenge that I have read in a very complex manner. That may sound it, that may make that thing very interesting, but not that effective. Our job is here to make the thing effective and simple for you. And that's the reason, to answer your question, you will have the release dates, you will have expected date from the client when they are waiting for small portion of a big software to be delivered to them, so that at least their work will start towards doing small actions towards their BAU activity, that is business as usual activity. Last time I had given example of a banking project. So a bank just starting up, okay, and they come to you that I want to do all those activity of opening an account of my new customer, and then giving them facility to fund transfer, and then open a new account and joint account, and open and do other activities of loan and mortgage and all. Then you ask, oh, you have a really complex requirement, can we give you something with which you can start? And the bank says, hey, yes, you can start. Can you just immediate in the next week enable us to add a customer and open a saving account for them? you happily say, yes, that these 2 modules, definitely we can provide in next 2 weeks. And you define a timeline of next 2 weeks, and your customer is readily expecting that, and you are getting in a quick reactive manner discussion with your team, telling them we have to enable these 2 modules and move them faster towards the client environment, so that they will start using it, and you have time of only 2 weeks can we start working towards this delivery. And here you see in this conversation what happened. You quoted time boxing, you quoted fast moving, you quoted quick reaction, that you are targeting to include these 3 elements towards the delivery of 2 module of adding new customer and opening an account.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got it?
All right. Yeah, I got it now.
Okay, thank you. So yes, Prerna, now you can take over from this slide. There's Agile Manifesto coming up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Just before you take that, Makeda, do you have any question? You have raised your hand, I see.
Yes, I just had one question before I confuse myself, because when I seen both about the agility and the flexibility, I just automatically thought about Scrum and then Kanban. Like,
So hang on Scrum and
Okay.
Kanban. If you have any question with relation to
All right.
Scrum and Kanban, we will come over there and we will talk about that. I see some more hands raised. Srilata, what is question you have?
Hi, Gaurav.
Yeah.
Actually, my question is, in flexibility, do we use waterfall methodology or any particular, or because flexibility we have time and everything, right? So do we use waterfall?
Yeah, so waterfall model, when it comes, then from there people are deriving this flexibility. Okay.
Sir,
And that's
can we
the
go
reason.
back? Can we go back to that place so I can just make something clear? And if we are together, then we know we are sure.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yes, to flexibility.
Yeah. Tell us.
Yeah. Is this a page? Okay. From what I, not this page, the other one, but from what I understand, the other page that comes with like 3 things, like when you say quick reaction and this, so we
Okay.
can just yes. From what I understand here, if you are already agile, then obviously when you're dealing in a real life scenario, right? Agile is not agile is a methodology, but flexibility is like something you have to know and comply with just in case something happens. Or in the real world, they just want you to you have to understand as an agile professional or as a business analyst or whatever the case may be, that, okay, I'm agile, but obviously I have to have these qualities of flexibility in me, which mean I can work in a time burst and I can work with no time bound. I can work fast moving. I can as well work steady move, quick reaction and delay reaction. Are we supposed to know all these to be able to understand, because this is not a principle anyway, it's not one of the principles. It's agile is quite different.
Principles are yet to come. You need to know these all things, just because what is customers' expectation? Are they coming, or are you asking the right question to them? If you really want to complete some project because you have a lot of responsibility to fulfill, customer may come with any requirement and endless requirement with endless timeline. And if you don't have clarity with the right question, what is going to happen? You will end up following only the waterfall model with being flexible and just fulfilling customer demands, but you are not going to make things workable for him. So it's all about more things are coming to you. So what more things? Why the software has to be just not be delivered, it a workable software has to be delivered at the end. So you need to understand these things, that by knowing that you will understand back of yours whether you are following certain principle or not. Okay. And you are going to be a future Scrum Master as well, James, once you get placed. So as a future Scrum Master, what all things are happening and what all things are not happening, that will let you know whether you are following certain Scrum principle or not. And that will give you chance to continue to correct your own self. Yeah.
Sure.
And that's the reason you need to know again.
Definitely.
Okay. So understand for now the point, just bottom line you need to understand right now what Prerna had shared, that in interviews, these are the interview questions. Okay, you will be asked to, make you diverted from the topic. Okay, tell me, so are you flexible or agile? Okay, you don't have to go more nervous over there. You know what is agile, what is flexibility, and you can answer those questions very easily, and you can move to the next.
So we can be agile and we're flexible as well. Can we?
Both are two different. That's what we said, that most time these are used interchangeably, but you need to understand the difference, and that's the reason we have defined the difference. Okay, agile means it has to be more time bound, DTF, defined time frame. Flexibility does not have to be time bound. Yeah, these
So
three elements you can go ahead
in
with
that
that.
sense, flexibility works with waterfall model.
So that's what I said, right? Srilata, when she was asking, okay,
Yeah.
I just told her that it is more coming from waterfall. Okay, and that's the reason people fail to understand and start using flexibility towards the agility. Got it?
But okay. In the head of those plays, they say agility and flexibility bracket end goal remains the same. Adapt to change.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Yes. So end goal remains the same, is that you have to deliver something and you have to deliver as per the change, because continuously things are changing. See, here I gave you towards the flexibility some changes, geographical changes, calamitical changes, political changes, environmental changes. In agility, it can be the requirement changes, functional requirement changes. Like earlier, I was giving you the example of, banking software. Customer says that, okay, you give me the facility to work on the, account opening, and I want to go ahead with the only current account and open account. You have started working, and all of a sudden customer comes back and say that, oh, can you include, recurring deposit account opening or fixed deposit account opening module as well? And you can't say, go back and say that, okay, we'll do and we'll tell you when it's done. No, you will have to connect back with your product manager, a product owner. Product owner has to consult back with your client and understand when actually the requirement is, okay, so that when they can accommodate it, and then they can bring it into something what you are going to learn later, into the product backlog item. Okay, that you are going to learn these terms later. And because things in bringing some answers, some new terms will come up, and that's the reason we are just taking a pause and going slow. Okay, so that it won't confuse you, like a product backlog item or something like that. So is it clear now? Are you getting more comfortable?
Yeah, 100.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Thank you. So can we proceed
the
further?
When you teach me, I teach other people. I try to teach other people, like explain to them, because I want to bring more people in here to learn.
Yeah. That's
people
fine.
are challenged about these things so much.
That's okay. At least you are understanding. Later, you just however you use is your idea and your style. So for now, it's okay. We can proceed further. Yeah. Any other question, James? This is to you.
No. Well,
okay.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
Please, in a layman's language, because I understand. I have an African background, right? I was raised in Nigeria. When you just tell people, Indians are used to software, blah, 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 blah. But when you try to explain this thing to people, you can break it down like trying to use like a house project. Like today I was telling somebody, people don't know the difference between a BA, a Scrum Master, or product owner, which can go for a BA, depends on the project, you know what I mean? And even Agile. People don't really understand what the role they can play.
Why you are telling this? What is the
we are doing BA, AGILE Scrum, right? That's the course we are doing. Okay. Like I told someone today, he was asking me, oh, I've been doing Scrum. I don't know which one is. I know I've been doing Scrum.
You answered that person, yes or no?
Yeah, why not? I said
you answered already, right? So
yes, Scrum is a framework, Agile is a methodology.
Okay, you now know. So can we proceed further, James?
Okay, thank you.
In learning, yeah, can we?
Yeah,
Thanks. So guys, those are important questions which are relatable. Bring those so that we can happily answer them. So Prerna, you have your slides open. You can share your
Yes, I
screen.
have. Yes,
Okay,
I was just
nice.
waiting for you.
Yeah.
So first of all, a very, I would say, good discussion and very practical discussion, because these kind of questions do get asked. Let me know when my screen is visible. Yeah, it's there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
So now we are kind of deep diving into understanding what is agile and how agile is built up, or what is the core of agile. If you ask me, I call these manifestos as the building blocks of agile. Okay, so when somebody asks you what is agile, or if someone in interview or in professional setup, comes across and just checks with you, are you aware of agile or what is agile? So if you know these manifestos, okay, no, rather than knowing, if you understand these manifestos well, trust me, the half of the work is done. Rather, more than half of the work is done. It's like if you know the alphabets, you could make the words and then later sentences, right? In English or in any other language, your mother tongue maybe. So same way, these are like the core of agile, and that's why it's called as agile manifesto. So if you understand the basic of it, or if you understand the crisp of it, you're done. Okay, so I need 4 different people to read this line one by one. We will start with the first point. Yeah, James, would you like to start with this, the first one?
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Individual interaction over processes and tools.
Okay, and I would also like to ask you, what do you understand by this, why after reading this line?
Yes, that is why it's agile, because because it's a collaborative process. People have to, you have to discuss, you have to report back to your PO, and you can discuss with your team and everything. You can assess everybody, the development and everything. You guys collaborate in a unit to produce the first set of products you want to produce. Then in a sprint or whatever, gradually you can release it. Over the process, like on the other waterfall model, they just understand that they have to do this. They have a process to follow. They have a beginning and they have an end, and they have an end. They don't have an in between. There's a change in waterfall. It's just that it's kind of rigid. Unlike individual interaction, when it comes to agile, is quite better, because people will understand better their project, what they are doing, and the delivery is going to be smooth, to the best of my knowledge or understanding.
So yeah, thank you so much, and you are very much on point. I would just like to add in here, you really explained well the first point, but then the over processes and tools. Okay, so everybody understands when we say individuals and interactions over process and tools, that simply means what agile highlights is that instead of following the set process, or instead of following the set I would say
Configuration.
tools, like if portal, if you have any particular portal, if you have any particular set of instructions, instead I'm saying you have to focus more on individuals and interactions. Okay, now I generally give a very classic example, but that is more or less relevant to people from India, or who know these typical, or any of you who goes to government banks. I'm not sure how they operate in your country, but in India, they are generally the very slow and very I would say lethargic kind of environment type bank. So what happens, like like on a
Even in
lighter note,
Nigeria.
I generally mention State Bank of India, that's the SBI, is a worldwide bigger bank. So why this example I give is, see, basically what happens when you go to any typical government setup, any government offices for any of your work, how rigid and how slow they are. They'll tell you to first get a form, sign that form, submit that document. So they don't mind, or it doesn't matter to them what is the urgency, what is the situation. They would follow the set process. Everybody agrees to this?
Yes.
Have you all
Yeah.
experienced this somewhere or the
Correct.
other in your
Yeah.
life? Yeah.
Even in the
Yes.
US, yeah.
Even in
Yeah.
the US, right? Because
Go to the
this is how
station,
they
go to the
work.
Same
courthouse,
in Canada.
go
Same
to
Yes.
in
the
Canada as
So
courthouse.
well.
You see how they can
I'm not
delay you.
sure I should be happy or sad with this, but yeah, it is the thing. So this happens, and you know how frustrating it can be. Like, to be very honest, I have worked majorly in banking and financial sector, and you know, being their manager, project manager, and whatnot. I am the last person to visit any bank physically. I'll tell my parents, I tell my spouse, can we do it online? Because you know the amount of energy you spend there over, you know, okay, you have to fill this form, stand in this queue, and it is very time consuming. Okay, so now this is an actual physical example, real life. Consider that in an organization. So what happens in agile, see, we are not making a statement that we should not have any process, we should not have any instruction set. No, it's fine, it's a good thing to have guidelines, but in agile, imagine when you are working in a setup of 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks sprint, such a time crunch, you have a customer who's waiting for the delivery, and then the situation is dynamic means, like for example, per se, if James or say Ankita is my customer, for example, and then they are asking for some change to me, you know, me and Gaurav are, for say, development team, and you know what, then I can't go back to them and say, Arey, no, we had decided that process. How can I say that? Because being a customer, you're asking for something right now with your latest development in whatever discussion you had in your team. So agile always focuses on discussions that happen between individuals, and those individuals can be all the stakeholders. If you do not know the word stakeholders, don't worry, we will come to that in detail. So in simple words, stakeholder means everybody who has stake or interest in your project. So individual interaction between development team and customer client team, between BAs and client team, between product owner, between senior management, between your scrum master. So all these things are always on a higher importance than processes. So it simply means you cannot, you just, it will be unacceptable, or it will be actually foolish to go back to and tell person that, okay, you had signed or you had told this thing 2 months back, and now you're saying this. Yes, it is a dynamic environment. That's why we are following agile. If we had to follow a set process or set rules or set things, it could have been very well waterfall method. So you see the difference right now. What are we talking on daily basis or in dynamic environment, in latest trends, that is given more importance than the processes and tools. And also also focus. We are not saying that we are discarding processes and tools. Okay. We are saying when the time comes at that particular moment, what the other person, the stakeholder, the customer, the senior management, whosoever is interacting with you, their information is vital, and that has to be considered. And see, interactions means they're not saying that somebody would come and tell you. You will have a discussion with them. Okay, we will learn all this in very much detail when we go to principles later, because each point has been kind of like, you know, separated and explained in detail. But right now, just focus on that whatever is your interaction with other team members, other stakeholders, that is always of higher priority than what was mentioned earlier. So it's always the newest thing has to be treated as the latest advancement. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Can I ask a
Yeah.
last question?
Any?
I have
Yeah.
a quick question on that right now.
Yeah.
So,
Please go ahead.
we just learned that Agile is more like a time boxed methodology that we follow, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
with preferring individual and interactions over processes and tools, does that change the timeline? That should change the
That
timeline as well,
depends.
then, right?
It's a very good question. That depends on what kind of changes or what kind of interaction you have. Like many a times, it can be as simple as that. Okay, we have to change the priority. So instead of baking a cake, why not you make a pudding? Okay, just I'm a foodie, so I tend to go back to food examples, and because this stuck very well in the mind, that's the psychological part of it. So see, it's a very good question. Just to answer in two different ways. One thing is it can be just a change in priority. They might say, okay, instead of number 4 requirement, can you take number 10 at the place of 4? You know, you just want to change in the order of delivery, or going back to your question, it can be
Mhm.
an important change where a lot of development, a lot of time, a lot of other resources are required, which are not readily available for you, which as an organization will cost you more, right? It might be something, complex development, complex system, or you might need a server. Like in my case, I'll give you a typical example. When I was working as a project manager for a particular mutual fund and banking website, okay, so in the initial discussions for the pitch or for the marketing part, our marketing team had taken some nice paid Google graphs. Okay, they were paid Google graphs. You see those Sensex and all those graphs. You hover your mouse over there, you see
Right.
the numbers,
Yeah.
you see the lines. It's going up and down. So all that, okay. And that particular graph was a paid graph, okay. And that thing was not discussed, and the customer thought it is considered in the project. And then I joined the project later when it was already kicked off before my joining. And when I came in the picture, they were like, okay, we need this graph. And when we realized that this graph is a paid graph, and they will have to incur additional charges for that, because we'll have to pay the subscription to Google, and you have to get those I would say
Right.
what I would call authorizations, and then we will implement that. So first of all, paying to Google, then second, having developers to implement that, because it won't be a simple thing just to plug and play. It has to be customized as per their demand. So in this situation, what happened, I had to give them that additional charge sheet or additional cost sheet, that okay, you will be charged per say $500 extra, because it's a hypothetical example, but yeah, there was a decent charge involved in that time also. So you see the difference. And if that is the case, then it will again have a detailed round of discussion. First of all, you will listen to the customer, but then if you are a BA, you'll come back to your development team and your scrum master and your product owner. You'll have an internal discussion. Okay, this customer is asking for this, and this is the requirement. Then development team will straightway tell you, okay, this will cost time, money, whatever, efforts, all the things. And right now we are not in a position. So we have to check with them that are they ready to extend the timelines, or are they ready to change the priority, or first and most important thing, are they willing to pay for it if it is a paid thing? Okay, so always remember, if it's a minor change of like changing the font size, color, or adding this picture. See, as a business, you are there for a long term, so you have to be good with the customer. You have to create that bond and relationship. We call it as
Correct.
giving free cookies to them. It's actually called as free cookies, or whatever, just a goodwill gesture. That's fine. But at the end of the day, if you're incurring losses because of that, then it's not a good business. Always remember this, because we are in a professional setup. You are not working for your friend or
Right.
your family. So coming back to your
Right.
questions, yes, yeah,
So that would
go
mean
ahead.
that time is not really an absolute in agile, right? Like it would depend upon the priorities of the different stakeholders which are involved
Yeah, it
on the
depends
project.
upon the priority and depends upon the acceptance of the customers. If they say, no, we don't
Okay.
have time, then I'm sorry, we really can't implement that now. See, you have to be
Okay.
very straightforward, and blunt is a little harsh word, but I would say upfront, right?
Set the
Because
expectations, right? I think
yeah,
that's what we can.
exactly.
Yeah.
Set the expectations and clear the understanding. It's not that you're saying yes to them. Why would you incur losses? And what are you going to answer to your senior management that? No, you are also answerable, because you get budget from your senior management for this project. And if you are incurring losses, that project is anyways going to get shut down very soon. Okay. So
Yeah.
very
I
practical
think
question,
it
very realistic.
also, yeah, I think
Mhm.
it also depends upon the type of project that we have, because like the current firm that I work with, we still follow in some of the projects, we still follow processes and tools rather than
That's
doing
okay.
the,
See, we have to follow. See, that's what I was trying to emphasize. See, Agile Manifesto, there are only 4 points, but get the crisp out of it. Get the core. It's not that we are saying don't follow processes and tools. They are there. They are important. If you're a newcomer, you would get so much of advantage of having that particular process. But what we
right?
are saying
Yeah.
is, don't stick to that old processes or old understanding if you are getting some new input from the customer. Make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's always dynamic is the word. Always remember why you're implementing agile, because you're in a dynamic environment. Okay, when I will explain all the 3 points, you'll get an understanding. It's like a comparative thing. Okay, so hold on to your doubts if you have any, and we can go to the after the last point, because I know you will have similar doubts, and if I explain one, the others will also get clear. So second point, who would read it, please? Can
I'll do
someone
it.
who has not spoken? Yeah, go ahead, please.
I'll do that. Working
Yeah.
software over comprehensive documentation.
Okay, now the specific question to James. James, I had this question in one of the internal, training modules in my organization. The question was, is documentation necessary in Agile?
Yeah.
And that time I was a newbie. I said no, and I got 0 for that. So the answer is yes. So the answer is comprehensive documentation is not required in Agile, but documentation is required in Agile. So this is for everyone. This is for all those objective questions that you have been missing, which I also did miss. So you
Oh my
say,
God.
right,
Wait,
you
wait,
gave
wait.
your exam well.
Can you
The
ask me
results were
again,
not.
please?
Yeah.
Is working, ask me that question again, please.
The question is for everyone. Is documentation important or required in Agile?
It
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
It
It is.
is.
Definitely.
It is.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, but the question is comprehensive documentation a mandatory thing in Agile? Then no. Over
No.
working software. See, because
I think
documentation.
it yeah, I think
Go ahead,
Prerna, it
go ahead.
depends. Sometimes comprehensive documentation is also something that is required.
Agreed, but
So
in only the context of the comprehensive documentation, it's fine. But when you have this term overworking software, as in if you're just sitting there and documenting as a BA, as a team, if we only document and create thesis, that doesn't make any sense if you're not developing something. You see the difference? So that's why I'm saying take this complete time. Okay, it's not that documentation is not required. Documentation is definitely required because it's a base. On what basis you'll go back to the customer and have a discussion on with them that okay, this was a requirement earlier, now you're changing.
right.
So you definitely
Totally.
have to
No.
have a proof. You definitely should have a background. You should have some common
Yeah.
grounds that you have already signed, like a contract,
Yeah.
like a BRD, like a set requirements. But then the customer won't be happy with your documentation and the pages, right? They don't want to take a printout and put that in their office. They want a software, they want an application, they want something workable, right? What they will show to their management, not the printout.
Yeah.
So it's great to have documentation. It's good to have that for your support as an evidence, as one of the important factors in your project. Because tomorrow, if you're doing a knowledge transfer or if you're handing it, the project is getting handed over to someone, that's fine. But then never at the cost of working software delivery.
The delivery
Okay.
itself. Correct.
Yeah, so the given an option, see, I have come from a development background. I started with development, then team management, project management, then PMO, and now I'm to data quality. So the basis is nobody, as a junior, generally you're given this task of documentation, right? But then tomorrow, if there is a fire, if there is a time crunch, if there is something very important, you will be definitely asked to keep that aside for a while. It's not that don't complete that, but then get into development and finish this chunk first, because we have a delivery, we have a presentation. So you see the difference. It's as simple as that. If you want to take notes for a particular subject and you have an exam tomorrow, so do you keep taking notes or you actually go and give the exam? What would you do? Give the exam, because the exam giving will give you result. So creating that software and delivering that, and see, working software, I'm telling you why I simply teaching and following Agile, I love that, is because every word is crucial. Okay, here they have clearly mentioned working software. So that simply means you have to ensure that whatever you're developing, that should work, and you should hand it over to the customer. It's not that you can say it's a half-baked cake, we're still working. So it's like neither your documentation is complete, neither your development is complete. So you're just stuck in between, and that result is not great for anybody. So working software means your delivery has to be done properly, instead of going on and on about the comprehensive documentation. Look at the beautiful word. It's a comprehensive. The word itself is so big. And that's why they did not mention working software over documentation. No, working software over in detail, too much documentation. Make sense? I don't know why I have been teaching this so much, but every time I come to these points, I get some more clarity or some fun element that I remember some of my old examples. And this is practical, okay, guys? People will ask you, even in interview, they'll ask you, what do you think, is documentation important in Agile? Then you said definitely say yes, it is important, but not comprehensive one, especially in comparison with delivery of software. That's it. I will hire you if I'm taking the interview. I have hired people who knew the concept, but that's okay. They were not able to express it much, but they knew what it meant. So that is what is important. Nobody's going to judge your English, or nobody's going to judge your comm skills all the time. They're going to understand, and they want to know that do you know these things really well. Okay. So are we done? Can we go to the next point as of now?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Please read out. Yeah.
Can I do it, ma'am?
Yeah, go ahead.
Customer collaboration over contract negotiation.
Okay. So now if you ask me, the first and the third point goes hand in hand. Okay. Earlier we were saying, and I clearly remember James using this word multiple times, collaboration, right? So same way, instead of going back to the documentation or the contract. Now you may ask, or you might ask, what is a contract in this concept, in this context? So it simply means whatever project details have been agreed upon by the customer and by the organization, those are mentioned in contract. Okay. So contract is generally done at the beginning of the project, before we start the project. So we have to, fix the budget, the understanding, this is what we're going to do, what not, this and that. So all that is jotted down, and then you start working on it. Now the fun element is, we move along, as we go ahead, some factors do change. Now this is an iconic and one in the century or millennium example is, I generally tend to give, is COVID times. Okay. So I'll give you my personal example. I had joined an Indian bank, okay, wherein work from home was not allowed, because generally banks deal with very sensitive data. And earlier, they were not comfortable with employees working from home. So they used to they were very specific and adamant that you have to come to office every day and you have to serve from here. But imagine during COVID times, because banks come in essential services along with medical and food and stuff, they had to give us that facility. They sent laptop, or they asked us to take your personal laptop to home, and they have to give us, they had to create that network bandwidth and accesses. So now, did they sit and tell, oh, this is not a contract, we can't do that? Or they had to step up and serve the recent development in the entire world to face that issue?
They have to step up and face.
They did, right? I think everybody did, right? I think everybody did. So my explanation in this context is, it's fine if you have a contract, if you have a set process of rules, or like we earlier learned. But then, what is the current collaboration and current discussion with the customer you have, or with the stakeholders you have? That will always be important. Like a customer might have mentioned that this is a little tricky. Okay, I'm telling you this. This might not be super realistic, but for example, if a customer might have asked that, okay, we want to have a delivery of this software. Today we are at May. We want to have a delivery in December. We want to have a go live on Christmas time. That's the good time we have. We want to go live. And you're like, okay, you sign that and you're done. Now the customer comes and say, no, we want to have a delivery on Thanksgiving, one and a half or whatever, month before. And that's a shock to you, because 1 month of less timelines. Again, I'm telling you, this is not so realistic. Generally, even 1 day matters a lot. So 1 month is like a too big chunk. But just hypothetically, to understand the situation, what will you do as an organization?
Renegotiation of the contract.
Sorry?
Renegotiation of the contract.
Exactly. That means, first of all, you have to check the feasibility even before. Though it's a right thing to do, but even before renegotiation, you have to check the feasibility. That are you, as a team, as an organization, in a position to actually complete that? Because
you will be discussing with the team.
Yeah, exactly right. So first of all, you have to check with your internal teams, your internal senior management thing, and actually the development team. And if you and then you have to see if it is worth it, as in if you could borrow the resources from other projects, or if you could hire some other resources, additional resources and whatnot, extend the timelines, and all that cost, will that be properly incurred by the customer? So there are, see, in every professional setup, cost, time, money, efforts, these are the prime, I would say, objectives. Okay. So if the customer says, okay, we understand because it's a time crunch and it's an preponement, and so we are ready to incur profit, incur the additional cost, we are okay, then it's fine. And then if you could manage it, because trust me, it's not that easy to have the ready-made resources always available. Instead, it's a big organization or something like Guru Schools. When we have a resource pool, we have people ready to get placed. In many of the organizations, they work on a very strict resource pool, and they have limited people. So it's very tough to hire and get them on started and get them on board. So here the point is, though whatever is mentioned in the contract negotiation, if the customer or the stakeholder or anybody as an individual, basically customer only comes and tells you about some additional, something new, something, some advancement in the project, you have to cater to that, instead of going and saying back, hey, you did not mention this in the contract. It will really sound very foolish and very childish, right? Because it's a practical world. They will say yes, because our strategy changed. Say tomorrow, if your client company's CEO or managing directors are changed, they might have a different vision, they might have something different, right? Strategies change, their goals change, their whatever, entire way of work changes. So that's why everything can take turns and gets twisted or changed. So you have to cater to that. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes, practical. Did you understand
Yes.
why this
Yes.
point? Okay.
Loud
Now,
and clear.
last point. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
can I read that?
so last point, which is again, yeah, somebody is saying something.
Yeah, can I read?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Responding to change over following a plan.
Perfect. Now, this sentence is everything that I just explained till now. So
Right.
though there is a contract, though there is a process, though there is a setup of everything, you always have to be dynamic in the situation. See, it's as simple as that. You can't go back to someone and say, I mean, I don't know, I should I should say this or not. I mean, people who get divorces or who break up, they don't go and, I mean, they do say, they don't go and say, oh, you said that you love me and we will be forever together. Okay, that was 2 years back. What is the state now? I know this sounds really not so cool, but this is the fact, right? What is the situation today? So during, especially, that's why I give the corona example. COVID times were so tough and so tricky. Every organization, I think, doesn't matter it was small or it was big, what setup they had to provide work from home, because you just couldn't. They did not have a plan for work from home earlier, especially the organization where I was working, a bank, IT department. No, they were so adamant. I mean, starting with the senior VPs to the developers, everybody used to come to office. But then, because of this global shift in the overall things, everybody had to follow the work from home. So you see, what we did, we responded to change instead of following that old plan. So instead of sticking to no, we don't give work from home. Okay, this is a situation. Bank has to run, operations have to be done, applications has to be keep up and running. Yes, give the work from home. They did take some time, but they did it. And this is applicable for everyone. And this is a classic example. Like,
So
for
basically,
example, go ahead.
sorry, so basically, whenever there is any change in any project, so again, we have to start from the point one with
No, not from the point one, depending on what change it is. Okay. So for example, imagine the website Facebook. Okay. If we were developing a website like a Facebook, and the customer comes and say, hey, instead of this blue, it is like too much like Facebook. Can we have the yellow theme? So trust me, it's not a big change. It's just you have to change that color code where you have mentioned in one of the XML files or any of these I would say markup files, and it's done. Yeah, but then tomorrow they come and say, you know what, instead of Facebook, I think I should go ahead with the Amazon.com site. And they're like, are you okay? Because it's a complete change of the requirement. You get my point? So every time, that's what we are saying, customer collaborations and individuals and their interactions. See, it's like working in a family business. You will have to run through everything with your father, with your brothers, with your sisters, with everybody who's working in your team, and then get a consent, get an understanding, and then deliver. Because in Agile, you're so trusted by each other, you're so closely knit, even as a team. You all are so skilled, as a BA, as a development team, as a Scrum Master, as a product owner. You have to have that bond and that understanding and that confidence level. So here, whenever we have any particular change, and by the way, nothing is just accepted on the face value. Very, very important thing. This is for everyone. You have to first understand what they're asking for, give them some timelines that, okay, see, because as a BA, even as a Scrum Master, as a single person, you generally don't go and commit anything, because you are not aware what kind of additional cost, timings, everything is involved in the process, right? So as a individual team member, you have to tell them, we have to I need to check this with my seniors and with my team for the feasibility and for the development or everything, and then we will get back to you. So things are very streamlined, very formalized, and very, I will say, organized manner. It's nothing like, okay, no, in friendship, we call it in friendship khata in Indian terms, and it's like just out of the thing we will do it. No, because that is gonna see some smaller things, color change, font change, button change, looks change, instead of this image, that is fine. That is like not even a piece of cake. It's just like a one click thing, which is okay, which we anyways do for the client. But if that is something that will cost you additional resources, that will take a lot of time for development, so you have to be very sensitive, because it's a business setup. It's not something that you're doing it for charity, so you can just keep giving away. Always and always remember this. That's why it makes all the difference. So any doubt in the manifesto part as of now? Because we are almost towards the end of the class, and we don't want to stretch because it's your
Yeah, I
night.
just wanted to say that.
Yeah. That's why I was focusing on this. Yeah, go ahead.
There's not much to worry about. Just like a reverse question, so we can learn better. Like you said, documentations and documentations are required in Agile, but it's working software is preferable. So obviously, contracts are required in every business you do. So the contracts are as well required, but customer collaboration is better. Am I right?
No, it's not. Customer collaboration is better. It's like you do have a customer or contract negotiation, because that's like one of the important thing. Without any contract, you can't go ahead. But then if there is any change coming in daily work, like contract is done at the end, at the beginning of the project, per se 1 month back or 2 months back. But then today, as a customer, James comes and tells us, our team, say Guru School's development team, that okay, we want to have this additional change, we want to have this additional requirement. Our managing director is very keen on having this functionality in our application. I will not go and say, hey, you didn't mention in that contract. You said I got a MD appointed 1 week back. It's a new change, right? So
Sure, I
though
understand what
we
you mean.
should have the negotiation, but if customer is coming up and saying that they need some change, additional things, we should give it a thought. Again, I'm not saying that you have to give it at that moment. Obviously, the thought process or discussions will matter, but then it will have an edge over the negotiation, because that was an older one, and this is a more dynamic and recent one.
Thank you so much.
Give yourself a break, rewatch this video, and come back to us in the next session tomorrow.
See, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to do here, right? To be candid, I won't lie to you. Let's have your calculation. 50 people can go through this class and they will tell you, I understand. If you don't know in detail, in total,
Absolutely right.
if you have not practiced it, you know what I mean? If you have not you know, be
Honestly, more than
so these
practice,
things.
it is real life. Why me and Gaurav are so confident is because we have lived this, or rather we are living this on daily basis in
Yeah,
organization.
yeah, I
It's
know that.
like we give them these answers, we talk
If
to
you don't know
them.
these things, if they ask you this
Yeah.
question, you're gonna get it wrong. Trust me.
Yes, yes.
If you don't
So
really
thank you,
know it.
James. Thank you, everyone, for being there and actually asking the correct questions. Because and that is, see, that is why we don't give recorded sessions at front. Why we have these live sessions, because we want people, we want candidates to come up and ask questions. So yes, Gaurav, I think this is a little heavy one. So next time
Yeah.
I'll just start with principles so that
Yes.
we can have the
Yes.
continuation.
And
So
and
over
we
to
have
you.
to remember that guys, like every single time, even if you run some business or some project when you are getting into, everything is time bound. Okay. So because of your few means, it may happen that you are tomorrow in a sprint planning meeting, you are just doing project planning, and you have a dedicated time slot of 4 hours. By any means, it cannot go beyond 4 hours. If it goes beyond 4 to 6 hours, it will have the impact on the complete project schedule, towards the delivery, towards the timeline. Do you think it is okay to compromise on the timeline of project delivery?
No.
No,
No.
not at all. Not at all. And that's the very reason few things has to be addressed later offline, or they don't discuss in the actual sprint or project planning meeting, and they say that okay, we'll have to take it later. Okay, so consider that when we will be speeding up tomorrow the this entire agile BS scrum training, we will be catering few things inside. We will be asking you to do your own. We won't will just spoon feed each and everything, because we want you to come back with your own some uh, project work or assignment, or you will have to do your own preparation. So be ready for those things that is going to come to you as well, that you need to prepare some items. Okay, so this was what today was day 2 just, and we were just telling you everything. But tomorrow, when you will come, you will experience that we will be asking you to come back with few data or few more information and few more learning.
Okay.
And for that reason, thank you so much for giving me time space. So we have come to the end of the today's session. What we are going to do is that I want each one of you open the WhatsApp, and in that WhatsApp, I want you to type one word that comes in your mind when it comes to today's learning. So go ahead and please type into the WhatsApp. What I'm going to do is that, and why you need to do that, because otherwise we will end up spending around 37 minutes asking each one of yours um, you know final take. So let's move towards the closing, and while we are closing, I want to listen, and let me share my screen so that I can read what you. Okay, this will stop. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Excuse me.
Sir,
Sir,
Yeah, any question? Yeah,
yeah.
I
sir,
see you are. Yes.
I have a question with the Prerna ma'am, that she gave some examples of small changes which we can accept, like button change, theme change. Can she also give an example of big changes, that big, what
Yeah,
kind of big changes the
I
customer
just
asks?
yeah, I just explained that instead of the project go live, instead of completing the project in Christmas, you want to have that project done in November. It's like 1 month short period. And trust me, 1 month is a very big period. Even while in development, 1 day's change is also very significant. So if you want to change, or if you want to shorten your delivery by 1 month, it's a major change. So it can be change in the schedule. It can be addition of some requirement. Like for example, like when I said instead of the Facebook website, now the customer is coming and saying that, okay, no, we don't want to go ahead with Facebook. We want to go ahead with Amazon.com type website. It's like a shock to the development team, because both the websites purpose is different. One is a commercial, shopping retail website. The other is mix of everything on the earth, like starting with the people connect and polls and fundraising and business. I mean nowadays Facebook has everything like chatting and groups and whatnot. So you see the difference. It's like you're asking for something out of the world, then it has to be discussed upon and ensured that whatever is feasible, that will only happen. And if you can't do it, see, trust me, there are times when as an organization, you go ahead and then you tell customer that it is simply not possible if they're not ready to incur the cost or the timelines. If they are not giving you extra time to develop something, or if they are not willing to pay, why would you develop that? Definitely, you have to be very subtle and polite about it, but still. Make sense? Yeah, I
Yes.
think that was Jyoti,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaya,
So
sorry.
one is the delivery time change, and like
Mhm.
if I go in an interview, I can give this answer, like, my client
Yeah, you
asked
can
me to
always
change the
say if there is
delivery
a
time.
drastic change in delivery timeline, or if there's a drastic change in the schedule, if they are asking for a shorter timeline and there is a drastic change, then we'll have to step up and discuss with them.
So
Or
is
in
there
such
any?
a case, one second, sorry, let me just finish. In such a case, you can actually propose that, okay, if you're reducing the delivery by 1 month, can we have the prioritize activities only first? Like if you are looking for a Facebook website, can we have the chatting and friends searching and adding option? Can we have the marketplace and other things later? We have, because we also have to come up with a plan to cater to them. And if they say, okay, we are fine with the basic website, you can give the add-ons later, then it is fine, right? Because your other activities can take a back seat and you can go ahead with whatever is given, which is feasible, which is again feasible. You have to check that. Yeah. Anything more on this?
Yeah, the
No.
first I can say that it's a delivery time. Like my client asked me to change the delivery time. What else I can give them? I mean, I cannot tell them that they want to change the website. No. Is there anything with, like,
No,
maybe
you have to say if there is
something?
a, see, you don't have to give a particular example. You have to give the particular pointers. Like if there is a drastic change in delivery timelines, if there is a drastic change in the requirement, if there is a drastic change in budget from our side as a development team, you have to reconsider the things. And if they are not ready to bear any of it, if they're saying, okay, we are reducing the timeline by 1 month, but we are giving you maybe a lot of extra money for that, and if you could manage within getting additional resources, I think that is very much doable. If we get resources and we can hire. But then if they are not ready to pay extra, if they are not ready to understand other parameters, then I'm really sorry, it's just not feasible for an organization to go ahead with losses.
Right.
Make sense?
Right.
Don't worry, this is the first session on Agile. Don't jump to conclusion as of now. The more we learn about principles, you will get a clear understanding. So give yourself some time, and the more you read and more you understand these concepts, the videos, you will feel a lot more comfortable. Okay? So give
Sure.
yourself some time. So we generally call it some digestion time to understand the concept, because see, this is not a everyday activity for you guys as of now. So that's fine if you take it slow and understand it well. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Gaurav, if we are done with the
Yes, so everyone,
feedback.
so the thing is that I am personally reading that how you are feeling with the day 2, and let it go in a very slow manner, as Prerna just now said, and digest it slowly. Okay, digest it slowly, and you will find that gradually you are getting more confident. Few of you are coming from the background, so it's easy for you to understand. But few of you, as your day 1, we will getting in a more detailed manner. So don't worry about it. We'll again talk to you tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. EST. Would love to read from each one of you in the WhatsApp group that what is your one word you want to say about day 2, about your feeling. Are you feeling confident? Did you find it easy to understand? Please mention that, because based on that,
absolutely, yeah,
it will be included tomorrow as well. And I'm personally going to review. In fact, I have reviewed around 24 messages just now. Thank you so much, everyone. If no question, we can end it now. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank
And
you.
good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
One question,
You.
Prerna, class is tomorrow or on Tuesday?
Tomorrow and Tuesday, both the days.
Okay.
It's a Sunday,
So
Monday,
it's
Tuesday.
like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, perfect.
9:30 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Take care.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Good night.